Your camera's there, right? Sees you better?
Oh, it's fine, yeah. Let's do it.
Boom. Right here?
Yep.
Oh.
Alright, we good?
We got multiple cameras going.
Alright, just let me know when y'all are ready.
We're ready.
Hold on,
I'm ready for action.
All right, what's up, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? How y'all doing tonight? This is TK from Comic Sire. We're out here day one of Gamers and Geeks with none other than the amazing actors from Power Rangers Time Force. Jason Faunt, Michael Copon. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good,
Great,
doing good.
great. Having a great time?
Almost feel like I'm in the Matrix, man. You got a Red Ranger, Blue Ranger, so it's like, oh man, the red pill or the
Red
blue
pill,
pill.
blue pill.
Nerding out. So I wanted to talk a little bit on Power Rangers Time Force, like just some of the scenes, some of the stuff that's going on there. For example, one of the things that cracked me up, I actually rewatched about 7 or 8 of the episodes. About 8 of them, I think, yesterday, just to prep for this, because I was a kid originally when we watched,
Yeah.
when you were in this, I was probably like that tall back then, so I was like, oh, I gotta refresh. One of the things that cracked me up so much was your character. I mean, it's kind of funny, this first episode, like when you first get the morpher, all the other Rangers, man, they were all, obviously they knew what to do. They trained with those, with the morphers, and it was just automatically, your character knew what to do. That cracked me up.
Yeah.
I did not remember seeing that from when I was a kid.
That is funny.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
is true.
it is true. Well, I guess it was just in his DNA, so he just kind of...
Well, I guess because those
Just
morphers
knew and
did
boom.
bond to the DNA of
Yeah.
whoever wore it.
Yep, yep.
Which was pretty cool. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
So on set versus being on movies on set on the show, man, how crazy was the filming?
Well, our particular season, I mean, we all got along so well. I mean, we had a very tight cast, which is pretty atypical. It usually doesn't work out that well. But our season, and he can attest to that, we filmed... I mean, we got on the show and we were doing 12-hour days, 6 days a week because there was a pending writer's strike. So we just lived filming, and then suddenly it was like it was done. So it happened so quickly for us.
Very fast, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I always say, we were like, our cast was like the show Friends, where we just were that unstoppable, undeniable cast that I think we could have shot anything and been successful, to be honest.
I mean, that was a good show. I loved it. And on the show versus the original, was a lot of the filming, because on the original, a lot of the filming was done out, I think it was New Zealand?
No,
For
for
the
us,
first show?
we filmed in Valencia, California for our show.
All right,
And then
so-
eventually it moved to New Zealand after Disney bought it.
Oh, so you
then
got
they-
to do in the States filming? and
we were
then
in
also-
Cali,
That's
Northern
awesome.
California.
Yeah. Yeah, we were one of the lucky casts because our show was union
Yeah.
for a couple years. So we were very lucky that we had that little piece in there. And then the show went non-union again, and then they filmed in New Zealand.
We still get residual checks. I mean, they're like 2 cents, 3 cents, but they're still great.
But they started out much bigger.
Yeah.
How much on the on the show? How much martial arts training did y'all have to do to be able to be ready for all fight scenes in there versus?
Well,
I mean, what stunt doubles would do versus how much?
yeah, so the originals were all martial artists and gymnasts. What was pretty cool of our season that I'm always proud of is that for our season they wanted actors.
Right.
So the martial arts and stunts were totally secondary. So ours was strictly just scene work. They wanted to see how well we could act. So that came first. So we we both have trained and stuff, but it had nothing to do with the audition.
Yeah.
Nothing. It was all about our ability
crazy.
to break down a scene and the acting side of it. Yeah.
That's crazy because I've interviewed about 3 members of the original cast.
Yeah.
And like Austin St. John, for example, he said that he had to come back 3 or 4 different times and actually do a whole martial arts demonstration, fight a sensei.
Yeah.
Yeah, true story.
With us, they were like, can you kick over your head and can you throw a couple punches? Yeah, it wasn't really big on like the actual fighting. But we
was
all
fun.
did really well
Yeah.
in fighting, so.
They ran us through a
awesome.
crash course of screen fighting, right? But I know when Steve Cardenas said he got the role for Rocky, they just said, okay, you have 30 seconds, show us your moves. For us, it was like a 5-page audition about a dilemma with your father and how you handle the scene. It was totally different. Yeah. Which we're very proud of.
Yeah, they really casted the actors. I mean, there's only 3 years that they were SAG, so we just got lucky to be a part of one of those 3 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Now, if things went down, the zombies came, Michael and I can fight.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine.
We'll be fine. We got the Scorpion King and Leon Kennedy, so we're good.
We're good. Look,
Okay, there's a martial arts question I got to
do
ask.
that right there.
Power Rangers versus being in the Scorpion King, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's a big mantle to take up. I mean, you were taking up the role as young Matthias.
Yes, I know, The Rock.
I gotta ask, whenever you got that role, where you're like, oh God, I gotta make sure I got top notch on this.
Yeah,
'cause
like,
that's
it was
pretty big to live up
intimidating to like try to get as big as The Rock was at the time because he was so huge. I was like, all right, let me get bigger. Yeah, it was intimidating to follow that up mainly. So, but I knew I was going to bring a different side on the acting that I didn't see in the first one. So that's what I was really excited about mainly. So.
For fight scenes on that, like how much would you have to train, like compared to Power Rangers? Because I mean, there was a lot of action in that movie.
I would say it was pretty equal. Like in terms of like any project that was in terms of like predominantly a fight, fighting movie or show. Like I trained just as equally as what we did for Power Rangers that I did for Scorpion King.
That's pretty.
And
cool.
I think.
Did they allow you to do more stunts in Scorpion King?
Yeah, I actually did all my own stunts in that. Even when I jumped out of the building into like the foam, it was like a 2-story drop into the foam, and it's all. If you watch the behind the scenes, actually on my website, if you go to copon.tv, you can actually sign up and see the behind the scenes of Scorpion King, and you'll see I jumped off of where that last scene where I killed the scorpion, all that stuff. That was me jumping from the pad and stuff like that. So I'm starting to show people more of that stuff.
Stories, man.
Yeah, it was fun. I talked about, and I actually sprained my ankle a week into the first production because I was doing the stunt, and it was like that one scene where I was fighting. It was right before we went down to the lair with I forget what it's called, the monster. But anyways, I jump on the guy's knee and I jump up. I'm supposed to land on my head, but when I came and landed, I sprained my ankle. So they built a cast around my ankle and then built the boot around that.
Oh, really?
So I could finish the movie. So I finished
you had to
half the
fight
movie.
with a boot on, man.
Yeah, I had to fight. Half the movie I filmed with a sprained ankle, like a heavily sprained ankle with a boot cast around it. It was very tough. So in between scenes, I'm fighting, and then I'm always like, and then they would cut. Yeah. So it was really tough, like to push through a lot. So a lot of that anger in my face was due to my pain in my ankle, because every step I took was actually very painful. So actually, I just used it for the character, so it was good.
It's pretty epic. Going on now versus, for example, when y'all were in Power Rangers, did you guys ever think, not just the original franchise one, but the Time Force? Did y'all ever think that Power Rangers would grow up to be such a big thing, like back then versus now? Is it kind of like mind blowing to you guys at all?
Yeah, well, for me, it's, he was familiar growing up, which he'll tell you about because he watched a show. He's a bit younger than me, so we knew that it was a really cool mantle that we were taking over. But Time Force is really established itself amongst the 27 great seasons as a really great year, and during it, we had no idea it would become this big. I mean, I was surprised years later that we were traveling the world, meeting all these fans, finding out the kind of impact we had in people's lives, and I mean, at the time, we had no idea. We were just happy. I was just happy to be working at the time, because it was all new. So, no idea.
For me, it's like when you see movies and it's like the second, third, or fourth rendition of the movie. It's usually not like even Scorpion King. The Rock was in the first one. I was in the second one. And after that, it was just like people that were trying to be like The Rock. At least my story made sense. I was the younger version of him, but you can't replace The Rock with a smaller looking dude to play that character. So in most movies, when you see the part 3, 4, and 5, it's like, it's not that cool. So I thought like Time Force would be the same way. Like he said, like we weren't the original, so we weren't I thought it was gonna end like kind of nearly after our season. I didn't think it would go on this long. But other movies, like even Fast and Furious, have proven that wrong, where they've come out with the part, 6 and 7 and 8 and 9, and it's like just as good as the originals.
Evolved, yeah.
And so I think the way the fandom has come with social media that you can keep a product.
Nostalgia.
They love the nostalgic side of it, so you can keep it going for forever. And Power Rangers became one of those things. Like 27 years now. I mean, it's like insane.
It's a whole Comic-Con event now.
Yeah.
What was it? The
we
Ranger
got
Pop and Stop?
Well, no, yeah, we got Morphicon, we got Ranger Pop and Stop. I mean, we got a lot of things that are just dedicated to Power Rangers.
Yep.
You know?
It's kind of funny. I'm actually going to be there for next year, so hopefully I'll see y'all there.
Yeah,
Sharon
that'd be
Ashley,
great.
a good friend of mine, she invited me out this one. So
Very cool.
I cannot wait for that one.
Yep.
But so I can't keep y'all on here all day. I know I got to let y'all get back to it. Before I do hop off here, I wanted to see if y'all could let some of the fans of Comic Sire, or just y'all's fans in general, or anybody stumbles across this interview, where to find y'all on Facebook, YouTube, y'all's pages.
Yeah. Just right now I'm pushing CoponStudios.com or Copon.tv. It's my new website. All the movies I've produced are on there, so you can support me like a Patreon member and support me monthly to continue my filmmaking career. And I got a new show called Lucas, Force from the Future. Might see him in it as well. It's based on our Time Force season. So definitely want to tease that and get locked on or start filming next month.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, for me, it's just my name, Jason Faunt. So jasonfaunt.com is where all of my merchandise and upcoming things will be posted. And then my Instagram is what I handle the most. It's just Jason Faunt with the blue check mark, so you'll see it. And all the updates and future appearances, I put everything on there, and we're very, very up to date on that. So Jason Faunt.
Awesome. Yep. You heard it from the Power Rangers themselves. Get on out here, gamers and geeks. They're going to be out here all weekend. Check out this event. And Comic Sire, remember, we're the only channel that has a clean bill of health from Doctor Doom, Doctor Strange, Doctor Fate, and Doctor Who. We will see you in the multiverse. Gotta run.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Ming Chen from AMC's Comic Book Men, and you should like, subscribe, watch, and tell all your other friends to like and subscribe Comic Insider. You better be watching it. Yes, I will. Yeah, I will. I'll let you down and find you. I'll find you. You better be watching. Comic Insider.